This is the demo for Islanders New Shores. I played the original Islanders a long time ago, and it was one of my favorite little games that came out that year. It introduced me to an entirely new genre that I didn't know existed before this game, which is sort of the city building puzzler, where what you're really trying to do is place a bunch of pieces on a board that score themselves differently depending on what other pieces they're close to. And it's just an interesting little, they procedurally generate maps, and you just sort of try to arrange all the pieces in the best way that you can to get the highest score you can. And that's pretty fun, but what makes it kind of doubly fun is they give meaning and context to all of the little pieces by making them buildings in a city. And so you also get to kind of take pride in the adorable little city that you've built at the end. The original Islanders, I had a lot of fun with, and each little island was kind of its own level, and you would complete it, you'd get a score, you'd be like, oh wow, that's how high my score was, and move on. Islanders New Shores has added a mechanic where you actually progress from island to island in the same playthrough. So you, basically, as long as you hit a certain threshold with each island, you can consider yourself successful and move forward. And I think that's a pretty cool addition, because it gives me the sense of that I actually can succeed at something. One of the downsides of games in this genre is you get the sense that, well, I always play until I fail. And that can be a little bit of a downer at the end of an otherwise cozy and fun game. So I like the fact that they've added that. I believe that they've added that. It's also been a really long time since I played Islanders, so maybe they've always had it and I just forgot. That is entirely possible. But anyway, so this is how it works. This is my little island here. We've got beach, we've got sort of regular terrain here, and we've got buildings. And all of these sort of make a difference to what you can place where. So I'm going to add a building pack and decide if I want seaweed farms or brick makers. Let's go with brick makers. So it gives me two kinds of buildings, a sand pit and a brickyard. So sand pits want to be away from other sand pits, and they also want to have a lot of open sand in front of them. And so it looks like the maximum you can get with this guy is 15. So let me put him out here. And then let me put another one. You notice that it's got a red marker on this guy. So there's a -4 when he's close to the other sand pit. But if I get him further away from the sand pit, he can get up to the maximum of 15 himself. So let's stick him right there. I don't know why I think these are boys. And then the bricklayer wants to be near sand pits. So I'm going to stick this bricklayer between these two sand pits, and it gets 14. So now we get to add a new building pack because we filled up the dial on the left. So let's go with the seaweed farm pack. So that gives me a seaweed farm and a bunch of seaweed fields. And so I'm trying to score these so that this circle fills up again. Each time the circle fills up, I get to have more buildings. If I don't place them well enough to fill this circle, I don't get more buildings, and eventually the island, I lose, basically. So let's try to place this in a position where I could place another one fairly close and share a lot of the same fields. So I'm going to put this guy there. And then I'll just pile up a whole bunch of fields next to them. If you've got multiples of a building, it automatically assumes you want to build another of the same building right afterwards. So you can kind of build a whole array of these fields. Okay, so yeah, we did get enough score, but we're falling a little behind from last time, so let's see what we can get here. So brewing pack. That gives me not only the brewery and the hop field, but also some additional buildings from the other packs. So, for instance, I can build my second seaweed farm here in a position where it contains as many as possible of the other fields without containing the other building. The other, it gets a -24 for being next to another seaweed farm. That makes it a +6. But if I put it a little further away, it's a +30 because it gets all the fields but not the farm. So we'll do that. And then the brewery likes being near seaweed fields. So I can put it here. And then put a couple of hop fields next to it. Hop fields like being next to the brewery, and they also like being next to each other. And then I can place another brickyard. I can't place another one very easily that touches both of these sand pits, but I can put one here that touches the one sand pit. So we'll get 10 for that. And then another seaweed field. Can I place one? So, okay, so I can't really place one that is itself close to both of them. So it's interesting. So placing a seaweed field, it just has a radius around it, whereas the seaweed farms have this directional radius. So I pointed them both towards the same center point in order to capture all the same fields when I placed the farms. But maybe it could have been wiser for me because the benefit that he got from doing that got him up to 30, but it could be that actually each seaweed field would do better if instead of pointing them towards each other, I pointed them away from each other and got them closer together so that both could fall within the same radius of the seaweed field. I'm gonna have to think about that. That's the kind of thing that makes this game deep. Thinking through, like, as you get to know each of the pieces, thinking through all the weird details and placement orders that get you a higher score. Okay, so we can get a mason or a city pack. Let's save the city for a little bit longer. Let's get the mason. Okay, so this gives us a couple more sand pits. So I'm going to try to place a sand pit to maximize the score. 12 might be the best I can do to get it near this brick layer, but not encroaching on that. Though actually, if I do include the other sand pit, I can get this to 13. But by not including it, I can only get as high as 12. So actually, including the other sand pit, I got it to 14. All right, I guess that's what we're doing. And similarly, I can get this one as high as 13 by accepting that it's near the other sand pits. But it looks like what matters more is having a lot of sand in front of it. So I'll do that. Okay, so a mason, you can see a little breakdown of all the stuff that the mason likes being nearby. It looks like it likes being near brick layers and a bunch of stuff that I haven't built yet. So yeah, it gets a pretty high score if I put it near both of the brick layers. So we'll do that. And notice the mason can be built on a wall in a way that other things can't. So yeah, I can't put two of them next to both, but I'll put one right there. And then we'll do more seaweed fields. So 10 if I put it there, 13 if I put it here. So there is one thing about the scoring of seaweed fields. It seems like it's always better to put a seaweed field right close to other seaweed fields and close to the same seaweed farm that spawned the others. And like starting a new place over here is less points than going over here. So I'm gonna go over here, but I wonder if I had done the thing I was talking about where I put them back to back with each other would have given me more opportunities to take advantage of the closest of the two fields, the two farms. But look, I actually got far enough in my scoring this time. I've got 2 building packs available to me, so I'm staying ahead of things, which is good. Let's grab the city pack and the lumber pack. And the main reason I want to grab the lumber pack is to take advantage of these trees while they're still around, because eventually these trees are probably going to get absorbed by the city. So yeah, it looks like I can get 17 by going there. And the sawmill, all it wants to do is be close to the lumber mill, and also close. There's this statue thing that anything benefits from being close to. Let's put a hops field over here. And then we've got the city center. So let's put the city center over here. The city center really likes being close to the statue. It looks like it also likes being close to the mason. And other buildings like being close to the city center. So let's put it here. And then we can take the houses and mansions and line them up next to the city center. This is almost like playing Tetris. Like you're trying to get these little guys as close to each other as possible so you can cram in more over the course of the game. But they're all different shapes, which gives you some challenges. Okay, lighthouse is interesting. So this is placing a lighthouse is I think one of the experiences in Islanders New Shores that I don't remember from the first game. A lighthouse, instead of having, you've seen like different ways that these things can be scored, like the the farms over here, the seaweed farms, and the sand pits both had like these offset radii where they were kind of directional, which is something I don't remember seeing before. And then most things have this sort of like these centered radii they're trying to detect things in the middle of. This one is actually trying to see how unobstructed its view is. So if I put it up here, it gets a 43. Put it down here, it's more of a 20. But if I put it out here on sort of a part of the shore, I can get up as high as like 35. If I put it up here, it's like 32. So here, it's 43 because it likes being close to things like the statue. It's getting some negatives from the houses, but it's also getting positives from being close to the seaweed farms. So I can do a 36 here or a 43 here. I think I'm going to do the 43 here mostly for aesthetic reasons, and partly because it's a higher score. I just like having the lighthouse up there. So yeah, that was a lot of scoring. So now we'll stick some more houses over here, and we'll get more score if we put the houses where they can see both the city center and the statue. Though there are not going to be many places like that, and I'm going to run out. I may have run out already. Nope. Yep. There. That might be the last one I can place like that. I might have to make do with just one or the other. Okay, we got 2. Oh, shaman is kind of neat. And then let's grab the farming pack. Okay, so the shaman likes to be in confined spaces. So, like places where you wouldn't normally put another building because it's too close to other stuff. There's not enough floor space. The shaman actually really likes being in places like that. And I'm trying to see. I'm not sure why it's negative right there. What is the shaman like again? Okay, there are certain buildings it likes being close to. Huts. It likes being close to flowers, statues. Really hates city centers, other shamans, and masons. It really doesn't like masons. Okay, so it looks like the places where I'm seeing the highest numbers are like over here on this shore. I feel like I saw a 16. There's a 16 right there. So it's like the opposite of a lighthouse. The lighthouse is trying to find unobstructed views, and the shaman is trying to not find unobstructed views. Okay, now we got the mill. The mill wants me to build farms next to it, and it also wants unobstructed space around it. I don't want to put it in a spot where it's going to interfere with the city. So yeah, maybe I'll stick it here. Mostly because it looks good, because I can't fit a lot of fields up here next to it. But that's fine, I only had the one field anyway. More hops. So yeah, mansions are pretty persnickety. Like it's hard to get high scoring mansions, which makes sense. They're snooty rich people. And then we'll stick a house right here. See, the house can be much happier. There. Okay, we only went up by 1 though. What are our options here? We got fountains and fishers. Okay, I don't think I've got a great spot for a fisher right now. Maybe a fountain will do better? I've only got 4 pieces to place, and this is going to be... but... Okay, I got 27 there. I got 27 there. Can I do any better than 27? I really kind of like moving them around, and like, okay, if I could place something here, it could get really high, but I can't place something over here. I like moving it around and just sort of watching the numbers move and seeing where the good ideas are. So I'll stick that there. And then how do houses like being put next to that? Likes it pretty well. 10, 7. Oh, I see like a 15 or something around here. 12. 11. Let's go with 11. That gets us over the line. Do another wheat field over here. Okay, we're sort of tipping into irrelevancy. Let's do the fisher. So the fisher just likes being near these like little ripples where there can be fish. I think they also like being near the seaweed fields, but not near the seaweed farms. So I think that's kind of a wash. That's a 10 or a 12. This is like a 4. So yeah, let's go. Where was that 12? Here's it likes being near the statue. Cool. Okay, let's get a 12 there. Not great though. Mansion. Where's the best mansion placement? 4, 4, is nothing great for the mansion. 4 is about as good as I can do. The house can probably do a little bit better. 11, 10, but I think we're about to run out. Let's go 11. And then we've got this seaweed field. 11, 13. Can I actually make that 13 happen? Yeah. Okay, so now we've run out, but we successfully filled up the compass. So we did enough. Like, even though we hit the point where we could no longer place any pieces, we did enough that we can move on to the next island. So yeah, let's move on. So it holds on to my score. It gives me some bonus score for like stuff that I did during the level. And now we're going up to island number 2. So I get to choose the style I want. There's Tundra, which will give me the Cliff House pack, and there's Fantasy, which will give me the Terrace. Cliff Houses are cool. I'm gonna go with the Tundra and the Cliff House pack. So that adds a housing pack, or adds a whatever, like a building pack to my list. Okay. So I immediately get some cliff houses. That's neat. I kind of want to save them though until I've got like a city center. So let's see what else we can get. So we're starting in the same place. Seaweed Farm and Brewing Pack. Let's see. So wait, is the ice the replacement for sand? Where do seaweed farms go? Yeah, it looks like it is. Well, let's try to find a place where I can put 2 of these guys back to back in a position where I can still also pile up seaweed in the same space. Let's do something like that. And then let's not place seaweed on that side yet until we've got another farm. Okay, we unlocked just enough to get another pack. Let's go brewing. Partly because it gives us more seaweed fields. Do the same thing we were doing before. All right, and then the brewery. Okay, they didn't give us any hop fields, so brewery likes being next to farm, so put that there. And I guess let's put another brewery further away, but maybe, I don't know if I can put one in a position where the hops fields will benefit from it. Probably not. I'll stick it here and just see what happens. All right, new building pack. City pack. Let's do city pack early this time because we got the cliff cities. Or the cliff houses. What are these called? Cliff houses. All right, so we'll put the city center actually as far away from the statue as I can to maximize the space where something could see both of them in between. So put that there. And the mansion really, really likes being next to the city center. So we'll put mansions around the city center. We'll stick a house here where it can see both the city center and the statue. But now we've got these cliff houses. These cliff houses can go places that other houses can't go. Like right there. Or like right here. And so the cliff houses let you sort of maximize your space in a way you kind of couldn't before. So they're not scoring that great right now because I don't have that big a city. But if I got them in another pack sometime soon, I could put them in next to a more populous place and get a lot out of them. All right, so lumber. I don't think we've got a lot of great places for lumber around here. So let's go with Brickmaker. So yeah, Brickmaker wants to be... Oh wait, why do we have 3 brickyards and no sand pits? That's weird. All right, let's go Mason, I guess. So Mason likes being near the brickyards. So I guess we'll place some brickyards as close together as we can. And then see if I can get a Mason in between them. Okay, I was gonna say I will literally lose points if I put this here. So let's not do that. maybe I'll put one over here to just so a future Mason can take advantage of it. And then, okay, yeah, so this Mason could get 17 points for being near these two. This one could get 17 points if I could find a good place to stick it. 16 for being near the tower. I think I'll put it here. All right, we got more Maisons. So yeah, the mansions, the only houses that they like being next to are other mansions, but they also like really fancy amenities and things. So they're just a bunch of jerks, basically. Regular houses are much more my jam. So they like being next to each other. And next to the city center. They're way friendlier to their neighbors. Look how high we're getting that score. And then, okay, here's my new seaweed farm. I'm going to stick it as close as I can to the other seaweed farm. And now, next time I get seaweed farm, I'm going to try to place it between the two of them. Okay, boons. So when you get, I think that's a high enough total score, maybe? I'm not sure what gets the boons to come up. But boons are interesting because some of them are buildings, but some of them are things like are power-ups or like score multipliers. So I'm gonna grab more cliff houses because I want to, but yeah, you can get a lot of different things from the boons. Let's go lighthouse and farming pack. I guess we'll go farming pack. We got another mason, so let's see. Was there a place I could stick this over here? Kind of, yeah. This is okay, I guess. Now the lighthouse. Where does it want to be? Okay, it doesn't want to be near the city, for sure. But, okay, 28 if it's here. Okay, it doesn't like being near the city center either. What does it like? What do you like, lighthouse? 21, 31, 32. I think that 32 might be the best I can do. Yeah, I think we'll go with this 32. Can I make it look a little nicer? That's about the best I can do. All right, 32 it is. Tons and tons of coins. All right. More mansions, though. I almost kind of want to wait to place more mansions if I can until I've got another city center. So let's hold on to the mansions. Let's just go with more houses. It looks like I just completed the compass, so I can actually go on at any time once the compass is completed. I am sticking around because I feel like it, because I like this town, and I want to keep working on it. But I have permission to continue. Yeah, I think I don't want to wait a little bit longer on the cliff houses. Though, oh, interesting. The cliff houses like the mansions. They don't like the regular houses. I did not anticipate that. Wait, I can just stick them on the walls? I thought I had to stick them on the corners of the walls. Like, I can actually stick them, like, down here if I want to? Oh, that's neat. That looks really cool. Okay. So yeah, we'll save those mansions and then the mill. I'm going to put it someplace where I can stick a bunch of fields, and ideally in an absurd place where fields do not go. Okay, I've got 2 boons now. Sealed boon. Receive a random boon pack and 15 points. Okay. And then summon wisp. Select a building to attach a wisp to. Grants plus 5 points when scored with, and moves the wisp to that building. Okay, let's try this, just because I'm curious. Let's stick it on the statue, and then next time a building benefits from the statue, it'll get the wisp. And so the Wisp will keep, as long as I can keep sort of chaining scores together, of like building scoring next to each other, that Wisp will keep producing extra points. And then sustainable prevents the next time a building would get a negative score from an industry or harvesting buildings. Or I can just add a wall platform. It must be placed on cliff sides. Let's do this, because I think that will let me get more out of my my mansions. So we'll stick that there. And then now, yeah, so the mansion really likes being on this platform. Basically, rich people like being in elevated houses. And so if you put them on a platform or something, they're just ecstatic. Okay, we now have 3 building packs to unlock. So another Cliff House pack. Shaman, sure. And Fountain, yes. All right. So the Fountain... Wait, is the Wisp over here? Okay, so the Fountain likes being next to mansions, and it likes being next to the city center. Ooh, that's a good spot for it. Oh. Yeah, sometimes you'll see a really high number for a place you can't put something. But I think this might be the best actual possible placement. And then mansions like being next to that. Here? There we go. And then some cliffs. So can the... Okay, I was trying to find out if the cliff thing could go on the edge of this wall, and it can't. So cliff houses really are just for actual walls. Interesting. And they can overlap with each other a little bit too, which is kind of neat. This is looking really neat, right? Like, look, like the sun goes down, all the lights come on, and this like weird ramshackle city looks really, really cool. Okay, regular old house goes over here. And then Shaman. Where will the Shaman want to be? Okay, so he likes being near the cliff. Doesn't like being near the city center, but he likes being near the cliff houses a lot. 37. There was like a 40 something, but I think it might have been fake. Oh, 42 right there. So it's like underneath. And I get there's like a 33. Did I say 32? I'll take a 32. 34. All right. 3 again. So Fisher. I mean, that might get me some seaweed. It didn't, though. Another brickyard. That's what I needed. Ooh, plateau. Another place to put mansions. And I got some cliff houses out of it. And a park. Just avoiding the lumberyard like crazy. Okay, so plateau. I think it's another kind of place that mansion people like to go. So unfortunately, I think you need like a fair amount of like flat ground to put something like this on. So this might not be that useful, actually. If I could get it close to the city center, it would enjoy that. But it looks like I probably can't. Yeah, it doesn't like overlapping with any changes in elevation. So I guess I'll just stick it here in case that's useful, but it might be not that useful. There's 2 of them. Might not be all that useful. At least they like being next to each other. I wish they could overlap a little bit to make it look like there's just one big one. Well. Alright. So if we put a mansion down here, it likes being where it is, but it's not that exciting. Though really... Okay, yeah. Putting it where it can see both is pretty good. We'll do that. Put some cliff houses around it too. You can see the little wisp, by the way, is following it around. Okay, so this might be... Where is the best place to take a fisher? I want it to be around as many of the little fish ripples as possible. Get a 10 over here. It likes the lighthouse, too. Ooh, putting the lighthouse near fish ripples might be a good idea, because then fishermen can benefit from it. I think we'll stick that there. Brickyard. So does it like being near existing masons? It does, but really hates other brickyards. I guess I'll stick that there. A park? What is a park like? Park likes mansions. Park likes houses too. I assume they both also like parks. Is that 12 the best I can do? Probably. And also I'm setting it up to be in a good spot for other things to be built next to it. So, like this house? Well, is it a good place to stick the house? You're a bad house. There you go. All right, we're down to one building pack this time, so we're headed towards the end probably. So hut. A hut doesn't care what's near it when it comes to other homes. It just likes the amenities. So you can kind of squirrel it away into like the little tiny corners that you haven't been able to fill, and it's just happy to be there, which is really helpful. And I've just got the one more cliff house here. Okay, I need to be better than 16 if I want to get another round of building stuff. But am I literally going to be one shy? I think I'm going to be one shy. I don't think I can do better than 16. Yeah, I mean, assuming that there's nothing better than 16 over here. Yeah, it hates the mason. Oh, yeah, it's got a fake 17 that I can't have. All right, I guess I'll take the 16, and we'll be done with this town. But look at that! Kind of like that. We never really got to prove out this whole idea, but I'm proud of how this came out. Next. Island is gone for good, but is preserved on YouTube. So that was Island 2. We ended up with this score. So my score keeps accumulating from island to island. I don't know what a score loop is. Like, I don't understand a lot of what's going on with that scoring, but it made my number bigger, and that made me happy. So now we get to choose between fantasy with a terrace or desert with a fortune teller. Gains points depending on the number of buildings in your toolbar. Weird. Let's do this just because I've never seen that before. So basically, if I get in a situation where I open up 3 building packs at once, and I've got a ton of different buildings in my bar, then the fortune teller will do a lot of good. Like right now, it's only going to get +4. It's going to be garbage, but let's see. Let's do another seaweed farm. But if I placed it now, it gets extra points because of the buildings in my bar. Okay, so let's try to get to the point where we are opening up a lot of those at once. All right, let's try the same experiment we did before. Maybe it'll actually be worthwhile. I'll place that guy right there and give them some fields. So I decided not to wrap a field around it because I realized that would actually restrict the amount of near the farm space that could be used by other fields. Let's go brewing pack this time. Mostly because it'll give us more seaweed fields. Okay. So, right there is about as close as I can go. So now, yeah, so now I can place this one for 17 because it's near both of them. And I'm suddenly able to do a lot more with these guys. Get a lot more points per field. Just for the handful of them that can actually get this close. And I'm going to run out of that real fast. Like I might have just. And there's probably cleverer ways I can do this, especially if the landscape really lends itself to it. Like if I had sort of a watery gap between the two of them or something, that would be ideal. So the brewery likes to be close to these guys, so I'll put it here. And start gathering up some hops fields. And let's add another building pack. Brickmaker, I've got a lot of sand. So yeah, I guess I'll go Brickmaker. And this does give me a few more of these guys. Oh, come on, is there... Okay, I'm going to put this one over here and hope that the next one might be able to get just one more that's close to both. Now, it looks like I probably can't do it. Alright, that's fine. Let's get some more hops fields. And then a brickyard. Do I place a brickyard first? Or do I place this? I always place a sandpit first. Let's place the brickyard first just to see if that's different. Okay, so the brickyard, let's go there. Put the sandpit next to it. It just gets 3 points for having the other one nearby. I don't know if that's much to write home about. There is a bunch of lumber that I can grab over here. And this is probably not going to be in the way of the city, so this seems worthwhile. And it's next to a statue, too, which is kind of nice. Then we'll put the sawmill right next to it. And we'll go... Now, can I place another sandpit next to this guy that does a lot of good? Probably not. Let's see. So I can get up to like 13 if I go near this. What if I go this way? Probably nothing, right? Not a lot. I really should have put this in a place with a lot more wide open sand. So yeah, I can get 15 just going on my own out here, or out there. So I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that. And then I've got more fields. Put that there. These guys here. Oh, it's just 5. Come on. 14. That's what I want. Okay, so now I've got 2 building packs at once that I can open. Let's go city pack and lighthouse. That's a fair number. I think this might be time to place the fortune teller. And I think that also the other, like, the city elements, I think they all liked being near a fortune teller. So let's put the fortune teller here. Oh, we just got a boon. Ooh, score multiplier. Let's do score multiplier. And then I think the lighthouse, for instance, might be a very high multiplier. I mean, a very high scoring thing. Yeah, putting it here near... This is a perfect spot for this. It's right near the farms, and it's just got really wild, like, viewing angles. So, knowing this can get up to, like, 45, let's trigger our score multiplier. I haven't actually done this before. Okay, so I should be able to get this up to 67. That's interesting. Okay, let's do 67. All right, that was absurd and wonderful. Let's place a city center here, where I can put a lot of mansions around it. So mansions do like the fortune teller, but not as much as I thought they would. Fitting these things together like Tetris blocks is a weirdly large amount of the fun of this game. Okay. I will eventually put one there, but for right now, that's what I'm going to do. And then... Yeah, the house doesn't care about the fortune teller at all. Interesting. I had it in my head that it would. And that's okay. Not going to break the bank or anything. And we'll get one more field. And now that has... We got 3 now. This would be an even better time to place a fortune teller. Unfortunately. But the fortune teller was part of how we got here, I think. So... Okay, let's do a farming pack, which also gives us some city. Let's do some cliff houses, just because they're great. And let's do some shaman. Alright, let's do the shaman first. Okay, get like a 14. Did I see a 14 around here? There's like a 12, a 10. Oh, there's an 18 in this little nook. Can't go in there. So 18 might be my best. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it just doesn't like being on this slope for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't want to be there. There's a 13 here for being near the statue. 15. Yeah, I think that 18 is probably my best. Kind of buried in the sand, but whatever. Okay, I didn't actually figure out where I was going to try to put my farm. I just realized that there might not be great places to. Like, I might have to put it, like, right near the city. Because, yeah, it can't go on the sand. It has to go on the actual, like... fancy terrain. So this seems like the safest place to put it, where it won't get in the way of the city. I guess it's only a couple of points difference. So, yeah, I think I'll do that. Oh, I wasn't really thinking about exactly how big the fields are. I can only fit one field next to it. No, and the field won't go here. No. All right, well, let's just ignore the fields for now. Some mansions. Actually, the mansions are starting to get a little bit persnickety. Maybe we need some cliff housing. To try to make things a little bit better here. No. Will a mansion... Yeah, a mansion will... It gets a little bit more from them. Doesn't get as much as I'd imagined. But... that's okay. Another brickyard. Let's put one near this guy, which we hadn't done yet. And some regular old houses. Yeah, see, the houses, they have a wider radius in the mansion, so you can put them further away from the city center, and they still get the city center benefit. Is that? Oh, I can fit it right in there. Oh, that's great. All right, and then boons. What do I have in the way of boons? Another score multiplier. I haven't been thinking about the score multiplier. I probably could have spent that on something. But let's go. Ooh, blossom. Makes all the trees blossom. This is good for a shaman. So if we think we might get another shaman, we can do this. Then neighborly is a power-up that removes negative scores. So you can put two things next to each other that don't like being next to each other. Let's try that. I've never done that one before. All right, we'll add a building pack. Fountain. Oh, I'm getting so many freaking fields. Let's go mason. Oh, that gave us a shaman. Dang, we didn't do the blossoming thing. Oh, well. Okay, so... sandpit. Does not like being next to the other sandpit. And it's getting, like, a serious score problem for that. But, if we turn on neighborly, now we can grab the sandpit and get up to 18. Now, there's probably... that amount probably wasn't really worth it, but I knew that was going to work, and I wanted to illustrate it. So where's a good place to stick a fountain around here? Right there, probably, I think. And, ooh, we've got a second city center. Actually, one thing I'm curious about. Okay, so this surface can actually have houses on it. So can I get... yeah, so what if I put a city center here? just far enough away from the other one that it's not causing a problem. But now I can place like other houses and things near it. I'll get 10 there versus 10 here. Doesn't make much of a difference. Oh, here's the Mason. Mason likes being near bricklayers. Oh, it likes being near the city center too. Let's stick it up there. I don't know why that's a Mason, but whatever. It just looks like a cool tower. I guess it takes a Mason to make a tower that cool. 10 doesn't like being near the city center. Yeah. Oh, it likes being near the fortune teller. That's neat. Oh, 15. No, I can't. That's not a real 15. 11 is probably as good as I can do. All right, and the stupid wheat fields. This was dumb. Because they're just not as valuable if you put them anywhere besides next to the windmill. Yeah, I think I'm just going to ignore them for a while. There's not good places to put them, and I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. I mean, I'm basically using up all of the arable land up here. Okay, it looks like oh, the demo is over after this one. So you could keep going on, but yeah, I get to finish this thing and then be done. Okay, let's add another boon. Ooh, the ability to re-roll your choices. Interesting. Let's get a terrace instead, though. Ooh, I think a terrace might be arable. Oh, I don't know if I can get it close enough. Yeah, I don't think I can get it close enough to the... Oh, there. Right there. That's where that goes. Aha! Yes! You can put wheat fields on the terrace. Nice. Got 2 building packs. Yeah, plateau I think is also arable. Let's go Fisher, just because we haven't done that yet. And because it'll give us more of this, which we like. 13 seems like the best we can do. More wheat. And then fish. Where's the fish? Got a little bit of fish over here. Is that it? Oh, we can do a 12. Oh, I just rotated it and it turned into a 10. Dang it. Must have left off one of those fish. All right, fine, whatever. We could do another neighborly sand pit. Yeah, let's do another neighborly sand pit. And then cliff houses and get a 9 and a 10 up here. That's probably good, right? Okay, 2 more buildings. Let's go park and hut. I'm not going with a plateau, mostly just because I know this is about to end, and the plateau would just make some empty space I'm not going to use. So, yeah, Mason does not like being near these guys. Let's put the Mason over here. Fountain. 13 there. Potentially 24, but I don't think it fits up here. Oh, it doesn't like being near the other fountain. Yeah, I think that 13 is probably the best I'm going to do. I got 2 more fishers. What am I going to do with 2 more fishers? This will get a 10 right there and a 10 there. And then another mansion. This is not a good place to put a mansion. Okay, whatever. Put that there. And then a cliff house. Oh, it wants 13, 14? That looks like crap. Do it anyway. A park. Oh, the park has to be on the fountain can be anywhere, but the park has to be on arable land. And it doesn't mind being next to farms. That might be what I have to do. And then a hut. 17 there. 20 there without the windmill nearby. 18. 20's pretty good, and I've got this extra score multiplier hanging out. Now it's a 30. I think I needed that for, like, survival reasons. Ooh, we got 2 more boons? What? Okay, bargain. Select a building to get a copy of, but your choices are limited to a single option plus 4 times? I don't know what you're talking about. Level up. Grants points to unlock the next building pack. Currently 53. Ooh, so I can just unlock that right now to get all the way up to... Okay. I think I clicked the wrong button. Let's do this. So it just sits here and I can activate it when I want. Oh, that's good. Add statue or sustainable. Prevents the next time it would get a negative score from industry or harvesting buildings. Let's go with add statue. So if we put a statue, I mean, where are we going to be sticking stuff anyway? Let's see what's our next. Okay, ooh, tower. I think I might need the plateau though, if I'm going to keep building city. I don't know where I can place it though. The plateau might actually, I might have to put it down on the ground. So I'm going to go tower actually. We've already beaten this anyway. It's fine. I'm going to put the statue up here so that future placements, whatever they happen to be, can benefit from it. They don't benefit a ton. Up there. The mansion doesn't benefit from that at all. Oh, hey, likes that. That's fine. But a house kind of likes it. House like that better. The tower is what's going to get us to kind of cross over there. That looks nice. Okay. Add building pack. Warehouse. I've never seen a warehouse. What does a warehouse want to do? Ah, the warehouse likes the industrial buildings. 24. Cool. Fountain. Fountain likes... Doesn't like the other fountain. Does like the statue. And then cliff houses get 8, 12. Ooh, 17, 19. So 19. And is 18 the best I can do? Probably. But it's not quite enough unless... Oh, wait, there's a level up button. But let's see what else we can get. Shrink the next building by 20%. That's funny. Okay, plus 15 points. That'll get me over the line. Add verdure. Clusters of trees and flowers and things. So, for instance, I could make a bunch of fish. So if you get verdure before you've placed things like fishers, you can make really nice clusters of things like fish. But if you get it late in the game, it just doesn't matter as much. So, like, I'll put it here in case I get another fisher, but I probably won't. Fortune teller? Let's go plateau. I can still level up if I need to. And I probably will need to. Ooh, putting him in here. I hadn't thought of that before. That's good. Okay, the plateau. Can it go anywhere up here? Probably not. Yeah, there's no good place for it, really. I guess I'll just put it there. It likes being next to the terrace. 14... 15, 16. 16 seems good. Mansion? I don't think I can even put a mansion anywhere, can I? Sure. Alright, and now my only option is to use my level up. which I probably should have done. When I realized I wasn't going to make it, I probably should have leveled up immediately, because that would have given me more points overall. Yeah. I'm not sure why some of these building packs are getting smaller and smaller. 15, 19, 18, 20? Ooh, 20. Let's go with 20. This mansion's gonna be garbage. Oh, actually. Is there a good place to put this? Probably not. There. And then the tavern. 32. 33. I don't think that's going to get me there. I think this is our last placement. I don't think I can do any better than 30 whatever. So yeah, this is our last placement. 33 for the tavern. Look at this lovely little desert island where we've built a town. Isn't this... I mean, it's weird in some places. This is weird. But... I don't know. It's fun to just sort of sit here and admire this thing. Like, you build it primarily with scoring in mind, with a little bit of aesthetics driving you. But then at the end, you have this thing that's like aesthetically pleasing. You want to just sit there and look at. So there we go. This is my new high score, 5180. And I have already wishlisted this game. So when it comes out for real, I'll definitely be buying it. This is just... This game, like Islanders, the original Islanders became this for me for a while, and New Shores looks like it's doing an even better job of being a fun game to just sit and sort of play idly while you're thinking about something else, while you're listening to something else. It doesn't take your full attention, but the part of your attention that it does take, it really, really entertains. And I've had a lot of fun with this so far. So there you go. I will make sure that I've wishlisted this game, and if you thought that was cool, you should wishlist it too. I'll put a link in the doobly-doo. There is my subscribe button, and there's some more games that you can check out if you want to look at those, and I will see you later.